One of the Western journalists to see Ho Chi Minh most recently found no evidence of any senility. British newspaperman James Cameron.
The door opens and in comes none other than Uncle Ho himself, looking, I must say, in uncommonly good form for a man of rising 76. He moved over without any sort of introduction and sat down, poured himself a bottle of beer, and started to smoke what it must have been about 200 cigarettes. And, well, if indeed it is the case that he's paraded in his few lucid moments, this must have been certainly one of them, because he gave me the impression of being physically very active. And certainly, in no sense did he talk like a gaga old character. But it is quite true to say he wouldn't talk about politics. When he came over, first of all, he wouldn't be photographed properly. He says, "Today I don't feel photogenic." And he sat down. I said to him, "You know, you're the most photogenic old man in Asia. Well, you know this." He said, "Not today, I'm not."
Perhaps as often in the past, when in a difficult situation, Ho prefers to let the younger leaders bear the brunt of the unpopular decisions, while he keeps up his kind old uncle image. Professor Fall.
Ho Chi Minh personally told me, he says, well, it took us 8 years to lick you, the French. It'll probably take us 10 years to deal with the Americans, but we'll hold out. Well, the fact is, what he never realized, that the Americans aren't just 3-4 times stronger than the French, but something like 10th to the power of the French. To give you a precise example, the French had a total combat air force of 200 airplanes. The United States uses 300 airplanes a day in some of those major raids. So very obviously, there's a great deal of agonizing reappraising going on in North Vietnam. So Ho Chi Minh makes those mistakes. But internally, what sounds to us as being extremely harsh or rough, you know, the American imperialists must leave Vietnam, that's what his people likes to hear. This is the sort of old give him hell Harry of President Truman. And of course, they are up against the biggest power in the world, and there are 18 million people. Ho Chi Minh is of the blood, sweat, and tears school. You don't fight a revolution for 30 years getting clobbered at every turn until finally you come out on top without being of the blood, sweat, and tears school. It's dangerous to second think or to second guess a man like Ho Chi Minh. Yeah, they're much more complicated than that. But I'm very much afraid that if Ho Chi Minh were to make up his mind that this is the war to see through, that he might just be the man to see it through too.
The aged president is still a ferocious nationalist and a shrewd communist revolutionary. This month, the United States made abundantly clear its willingness to negotiate for peace. It's now up to the old man in Hanoi.